6X, cardinal, manual setting, manual focus, backlight, no backlight. Looking at our lottery tickets.
There's 5,000, 5,000, 25, 25, and 50, 50. No winners there, but we're ahead of this game 100%.
Well, let's get...
Give me a ticket, honey, and I'll get a ticket.
Jim,
You bought with my
Jim
$2.
Cradle, after just winning a ticket for
A ticket for a ticket.
a ticket for a ticket for something or other.
Just a ticket.
Okay, one more.
I don't think they do that up in New
13th.
York. I think
88.
you just flat out win or lose. They don't keep drawing you back. But that's a good thought, because they take you back with one ticket, then you probably buy a couple more while you're there. Here, Jane, let me give you $20.
Well, a gambler and his money are soon parted.
Now, see here, even the young fella there at the place said,
$1. You have $1?
do I have $1? I don't have any money.
You can get a ticket.
Oh my
I gave you $50.
Oh, that's right, you did give me $50.
Gee, you spent it already, and it's only 5 minutes, and you just got
Tomorrow.
tips. Who do you tip? Nobody will.
What if we win with this
The
one?
gambler is taking off to buy more tickets.
Supporting the folks in Florida.
Yeah, for Florida's
every time we-
education.
Oh, fine.
Have you used up all of your 20 tickets yet, Jane?
They're all gone.
They're all gone.
They're all gone.
You didn't get that $5,000. That's what the only reason
Well,
you got
no,
them.
but I told you that I won $9 anyway, so my 10 tickets I won
How
$9.
much of the $9 do you have left?
5.
You always got 5.
Sure, Jim went out
No,
and spent my 2 without my...
that's 25% return on your investment. That's
well,
real
no,
good.
that's 100% return on my investment because I didn't invest anything. That's 25%.
No, that's an infinite return on your investment.
That's
You didn't
right.
invest anything.
Oh,
Because
Is that why-
any amount divided by zero is infinity. Isn't it?
is that why you're the business officer and I'm not?
No, because I applied for the job.
Oh, it has nothing to do with knowing about infinity.
Let's do it.
Make it official. So I have to get my bag. I got a spot on my shirt.
Otherwise, I'll start putting the
Aye.
dishes away.
I could have put an X on there at the meeting.
You know how long that'll take.
Bye. What? You have to do what?
Go out to the woods and teaching survival skills. And those who learn the skills
Jim Cradle packing to
will
Bed Bath
survive.
Ogdensburg.
Those who don't. And the best way to learn any kind of skills is to have people who have had to use them teach you what to do. It could be serious.
I think that is
That's
serious.
right.
We need one more.
Isn't there another strip around here somewhere?
Dad, do you have any more wrapping tape? We
Yeah.
borrow one strip.
Yeah, we got
Oh,
some
we'll not
more.
borrow it. We'll take it because we're not going to send it
I'll
back.
send it back after we take it off the box.
Very good.
Warehouses are coming from Yakima, Washington. But I think... Glide through the air.
What time will you get in tonight?
10 o'clock. Excuse me, Dad, I didn't know you were svelte and lovely. Actually, when the weather's really cold, the pilots always announced that they can fly better and faster and that just flies through the air.
Got all the shrimp you took.
Get to the pool. I didn't say get to work, I said get to the pool. Don't be funny.
Is that the working?
James Cradle relaxing at F307 2650 Countryside Boulevard prior to taking off for the beautiful, cool north.
Is that
Clearwater, Florida, the Sunshine State.
we're going back north with the sun shining and the icicles are blowing? And
Uh-oh, they're
the
cheering.
reason we're going back is because James says I've got to get back and get to work.
They're traveling very light. They have only, how much luggage? About
Less pieces than are allowed,
That's right.
right?
Within the legal limit of luggage, we are taking back 3 times as much as what we came with.
I figure if we had one of those suit boxes, we'd put everything in a suit.
You bought more than...
What?
Jane Ann Cradle and
I'll get.
Elma Osterling prior to the Cradles leaving for Ogdensburg, New York.
See my boots? Going back where people wear boots. Of course, when I get back home, then I wear sneakers. This is only in the event that I should have to wear.
She's got a black top.
And what
And
is,
wait for you to come home so that I can just be at your beck and call.
and watches the ground fog and the birds out the window.
Don't make me laugh, my mascara will run. Honey,
What?
I'm going to ask my father to take one last picture of you, and then you're going to be dead. I'm going to rise out of my chair and come over there and beat you with my
Jane-
boot.
Jane Cradle moving from her her winter-summer vacation to her winter-winter vacation.
Honey, it's not easy to be on vacation all the time.
Bertha.
Well, she doesn't do that either.
Put it down.
Honey, that won't do it.
Okay.
Somebody asked whether we were coming or going. We're going. We're going back.
The folks want to go out, Fred.
Oh.
I hope they aren't that late.
Well, he was really on behind the gym.
Maybe you'll leave before we do, and we'll still be here when you get back. They don't call ahead. They arrive out of the
No, in fact, they were very much on time leaving before. Of course, they may have checked their team on flight.
All normal, except for out there. Setting. Jim and Jane taking off to the airport, going in the limo. Have a good trip. We'll give us a ring.
That's the way to go.
Bye. See where Karen lives. Her house is in the center of the cul-de-sac. This one right now. Taken with just the skylight filter, which is normally on all the time. Mountains in the background, also Hill Street. You can see cars going by. Taken with the ND2 filter. All systems normal. Or setting manual focus. Krazy view. This is a before picture of the Fred's 10 by 10 garden. The after will come later, much later. There are currently 5 of Swiss chard. It has been agreed to take out one since there are only 4 of us eating Swiss chard. There are 4 of us to eat Swiss chard. Some other views of the garden at Krazy View. Krest official garden. Can you imagine there are potatoes planted there? Hopefully they're going to get through the sod. The volunteer potato patch, June the 11th, 1988. First tomatoes out of the garden.
Well, you know what we need to do, though,
is cradle admiring the first tomatoes of the season.
but everybody must notice that the shadows indicate that this is June the 11th. I mean, you can see that, obviously.
At 4:30 p.m.
Well, that's the shadows indicate that. So that's astronomical proof.
These are ripe tomatoes.
Well, definitely. I mean, you can see they're red. And hanging on the stake tomato.
Fine ripened, too. Is just coming out to pick the first fine ripened tomatoes of the season.
Look at that. Look at
Beautiful,
that.
beautiful.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Hold it.
Dad, look it down. This kind of...
Beautiful, beautiful tomatoes. You can see it's early in the you can see it's early in the season
Now, wait a
because
minute, you'll have to turn that off for a minute.
Oh, no, good. Up close. Whoops, not too up close.
Well, don't wiggle so fast.
Hard out.
yeah. You ever see anything riper than that? Prettier?
There it is.
Go ahead with the harvest.
Which one shall I take then? Oh my God. The mother's own thing blew off the... Well, I don't know. Maybe we ought to leave that one.
Repeat, you're harvesting the next tomato.
There it is.
Look at that.
Don't drop it. They're too valuable to drop in the dirt.
Delicious red tomato
And there it is.
early in June.
Today is June, what's the date?
The 11th.
June 11th. And there it is for all the people in Philadelphia to see. And look at this beautiful garden here, folks.
Now we will pull the next one off. And now, observe the next one. They tenderly drop off the vine. Delicious red June tomatoes.
How many do we have altogether? Gonna leave?
My heavens, I believe there must be at least 6.
Are you gonna leave any on to encourage the others?
No, we'll just let these green ones down here that you can't see grow. You know, see, like, if you want to run it close up, now here's a spoon, and they'll soon be red.
Probably
Yeah.
by next week we'll be out here
Just like
photographing it again. Just
We'll
like
be
today.
harvesting these other fine crop tomatoes.
Who you
New
are?
York, the New York harvest.
Close to southern Canada. Tilt the basket a little bit more. That's good. That's good. It's the southern Canada weather that does it. The garden at Krazy View Bed and Breakfast, where you make your own bed and get your own breakfast if you're going to get any. The garden at Krazy View Bed and Breakfast, where you make your own bed and get your own breakfast if you're going to have any. The guests, one Alma F. and J. Fred Osterling, picked the peas about 5 gallons, strung them, and froze them while the host and hostess were gallivanting around. So much for now, and we'll be back later. This is J. Fred Osterling telecasting from the Psychiatric Center on the St. Lawrence River, Ogdensburg, New York. I'm about to discuss that quaint old inn, Krazy View, which will appear very shortly. Krazy View Bed and Breakfast. Sometimes you wonder whether it's just bread without any breakfast. Well, here goes. Incidentally, this is being done surreptitiously, or covertly, or without the knowledge of the proprietors, because if I were caught doing this, I would be in big, big trouble. So bear with me. It may be a little disjointed as we go along, but it's a story that needs to be told in whatever words we can find to tell it. This is a shot of the inn, the Krazy View Inn. The story, as it appears in the brochure for prospective guests, is one thing, and as it actually is another. You will note as I go around that off to the right there is a new correctional, it used to be called prison, but it's now a new correctional institute. This will play a part in the story as we go along. Very important part. So keep it in mind as we sort of pan in the territory. That's the one correctional institute. And here comes some other buildings. They also play a part in the whole story. More Quonset hut, so-called storage room. Alcoholic unit used to be the alcoholic units, but the alcoholics have moved, and now coming into view is the old line correctional institution, i.e. prison, for incorrigibles and guys who get caught messing around taking pictures of the Krazy View Inn. We will now take a close-up of, we will be taking a close-up of some of the things that are mentioned or so-called mentioned in the brochure. One of the items covered at great length in the brochure is the beautiful flower gardens, of which this is a sample. Roses are another item. At least that's the way they appear in the advertisement in the brochure for Then there is the vegetable garden, where one is supposed to find on the table fresh vegetables. More flowers. And the lush garden. These all appear in the brochure. That's some of the amenities of the Krazy View Bed and Breakfast Inn. You've just seen the way it is supposed to be. This is the way it actually is, without any embellishment. Furthermore, the so-called golf course is out this way, where if the camera could pick it up, the grass is about 2 feet thick, high. It gets mowed once a year, now and then. The golf course. Mostly rough. If you can find a fairway, you're doing good. One of the items in the brochure. Beautiful flowers, apples from the apple tree, peaches from the garden, zucchini, yellow squash, beans, green beans, purplish cucumbers, most anything you want. It doesn't show potatoes, but potatoes, fresh potatoes are mentioned, along with sugar snap peas and snow peas. A real come-on. Great place, a so-called great place to spend the summer. One of the items to greet you as you enter the bed and breakfast, Krazy View bed and breakfast, is this beautiful statue, indicative of the antiquity of the inn, also indicative of some of the service one gets. This is the emblem for the inn. Prize eggplant from the garden. Also a yellow squash, beans, tomatoes.
All from the abundant garden at Krazy View Bed and Breakfast.
That is the madam in the background saying from the abundant garden at Krazy View and something else.
No frills bed and breakfast.
Oh, that's right. No frills, bread and breakfast, bed and breakfast. And
The garden is a part of the recreation program here at the facility.
so the inmate program is what she's talking about. So-called guests.
Just wanted to
We need to explain.
Proprietor and the proprietress, get in there.
Oh,
Well, we can take a
breakfast
picture.
at Krazy
The
Krest.
loving couple.
On the, you have the date on there for the 55th anniversary.
On the 55th anniversary of some of the guests, breakfast is free. This is one of the guests.
Any
breakfast is
55th
not necessarily free,
anniversary.
it's just
Now
served.
here is the breakfast.
Breakfast is free at
And
Krazy View.
this is a 6-fork breakfast.
A 6-course breakfast with
No, a 6-fork
a
breakfast.
6-fork
Some of
breakfast.
our guests don't hear as well.
This is the dining room, the kitchen, and the place,
Living room.
and the living room. Well, what more could one want? Now there is the happy proprietor. Also, oh brother. And that's the happy.
That's the bride.
That's the happy bride.
That's right. That's
Oh.
the bride of Low.
Oh,
He's 55
that's the
years.
problem. We got in. Whoops! There goes the battery. Cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Now, as we can see,
Wedding anniversary breakfast,
The memorial breakfast.
and it's free, all free.
at Krazy Krest,
It's not free. It's just there.
any 55th anniversary is free. Turn that cup around so we can see your name, Fred.
He's spread on either side.
Got flowers.
Going for breakfast this morning.
A 6,
Look at Doris.
6 for breakfast. You can hardly beat that, Fred. We'll come here again.
Well, you can't have everything. You gotta have a little bit of food for a lot of
beer
pork.
around here, even if you want egg in your beer. You
Hello.
don't even have any beer.
I'll give the man a beer for his breakfast. Why not? You were in big trouble this morning, Critter. Do you think that if you do loud purring that I won't be mad at you?
Well, that's Allie the cat. He's a great mouser and the one that gets the most attention at Krazy Krest. As a matter of fact, he's the only one who gets fed regularly and on time. Special
By
food,
all the
very high
guests
class,
and the
very high
proprietor.
grade tuna fish.
You just witnessed were more or less fortuitous, showing the proprietor and the proprietress and also 2 of the guests. It was not planned to be part of this sneaky preview. Did I say sneaky? I mean sneak preview. Now what you're about to see is not necessarily in sequence, the appropriate sequence, but I must get these things in as the opportunity presents. Now, the brochure speaks very glowingly of the physical therapy equipment and the recreational equipment. The next that you are about to see is some of the physical therapy equipment. Just a rather limited view of the types of equipment available. But as anyone can see, it's very physical. Now, as for recreational equipment, there used to be a badminton net up, but there were no, you can see it there leaning against the so-called adult's bike. However, when the net was up, there were no rackets or birdies. So, well, anyhow, that's part of the recreational setup. And we'll go on from here as the opportunity presents itself. This is Krazy Krest, Krazy View, Krazy Krest, or the antiquated little old inn. More later. Krazy View's emblem of gracious living. One of the items promised in the brochure is a desk for the busy retiree. This is a picture taken from the brochure. Folder or holder for the Krazy Krest brochure, where fact meets fiction, really where more fiction meets fact, or vice versa. It's a brochure well worth reading, which gives an account of the luxurious accommodations at that quaint little old country inn, Krazy Krest. You have just seen the elaborate brochure put out by Krazy Krest Bed and Breakfast. This is an article taken from that brochure and published in the Ogdensburg Chronicle. It reads as follows: Bed and breakfast, no frills, lodging option. And then there's a footnote that says the management. For travelers weary of bouncing around America from hotel chain to hotel chain, rarely seeing the country in between, not aware if they are in San Diego, Chicago, Atlanta, or Boston, to say nothing of Boise, because all the furnishings are the same. A priceless foreign import has caught on in the North Country. The bed and breakfast house. Bed and breakfast have been popular throughout Europe for centuries. The concept is simple. Hosts open their homes to travelers, offering accommodations that are clean, cheap, repeat cheap, and comfortable, as well as a hearty home-cooked breakfast. Again, I would like to repeat, a hearty home-cooked breakfast. There are 465 bed and breakfasts in northern New York State. Actually, there are 466 since Krazy Krest has joined the group. The amenities people receive while staying in a bed and breakfast gets people hooked very quickly. Once you've experienced a bed and breakfast, you don't want to look into a regular hotel accommodation. Besides, every home is different. Every host is different. You can say that again. And this adds more pleasure to the stay. Scenes ago, before you saw the brochure and some of the writings from it, you had an opportunity to see the desk that was promised in the office that was promised in the brochure. This is what it turned out to be. Well, a really great place to sit out in the sun and listen to the birds or to the traffic go by. And not bad, except that more often than not, one found his office being either moved or used for something else. We'll pick something else up in just a moment. This is an example of what it was used for quite frequently. Not everything is on it, but just a sample of the use to which the office was put by the proprietor. Well, one must say it had a dual purpose anyhow. Continuing the saga or the sneaky preview of Krazy Krest, you will recall that at the beginning of this documentary, the number of security buildings around the place was mentioned in some detail. Once one has signed a contract for the summer, getting away from this place is a real chore. And if you do, the reason for that is that they have to give you credit. And if one does get away without being caught, on return you will find that the prices and everything there's been improvements made. Improvements mostly in the price of things. We'll touch upon that a little later when we show you the computer room, which is used to keep records of everything one does, including sometimes taking a deep breath. But so much for that for now. Just one other little thing I would like to add, and that is that there is always adequate Swiss chard. Now here is the Swiss chard, beautiful Swiss chard. You can have it for breakfast. No battery. If there's a break in this documentary, the battery went dead and it had to change it quickly. But I was talking about Swiss chard. One may have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or as a snack. It's also available as Swiss chard on toast, fried Swiss chard, cooked with bacon and a little vinegar. Any way you want Swiss chard, it's there, and there's plenty of it. Heaven forbid. As one enters this quaint little inn, he or she is always impressed with the beauty of this statue, which is a symbol of the luxury accommodations at Krazy Krest. What more can one say? Isn't it a beaut? Ain't that something? This is a message that greeted us as we returned from a brief interlude at Figure 8 Island. Crazy view, no frills, bed and breakfast. 1. New improved rates. B. We will read B down here. B. Well, they're hiding it someplace. B. Increased. The rates are increased. 2. Breakfast with a smile. A. That's all you get. 3. Expanded recreation. Subnote C. Large green garden. Golfing on premises. D. Mowed occasionally. F. Climate controlled living areas. Heat goes on at 45 degrees F. 7. Expert opinions on any subject. G. Where is G? G. Accurate opinions. Where do they get that? 6. Rehab facilities nearby. Well, that's got F. That means, well, what does it mean? F. Simply said, it's a large hospital complex. 8. I read 7 before 6. Animal therapy. No, well, they've got Allie the cat. He's quite a cat. 9. Shopping. Subnote 8. H. F, G, H. Bring your charge cards. 9. 10. Free. Breakfast on 55th wedding anniversaries. Well, could be worse. Couldn't get much better. Well, we'll pick it up from here at a later hour. That is the sneaky preview, the saga of the Krazy Krest antiquated inn. One of the things mentioned on the in the brochure was the private dining room set with the linen tablecloth, the linen napkins, china, dishes, crystal glasses, and silverware. Well, we've seen that on occasion, but I would now like to show you what we see now and then. The dining room table, as used by the guests and also the proprietor, sometimes the proprietress. Well, doesn't that look like most dining room tables? Sleeping accommodations at Krazy Krest Inn are superb, but sometimes on weekends when it's crowded, one has to double up a bit and use a shorter bed. In that particular case, you sleep
one half at a time. You could sleep like this for 3 or 4 hours, and then later on you get up and you just sleep with the upper half. And then later you turn around and sleep with the lower half like this. Of course, there is an extra charge for it because that's using the same bed for 2 different things. And when it comes to charging, well, they've got a corner on the market. But as I said earlier, the sleeping accommodations are really superb. Just a corner of the computer facility where detailed records are kept very meticulously. And don't get caught sneezing because there'll be an extra charge, because sneezing is indicative that the heat may need to be turned on. Well, you get your bill once a month, and there's a charge upon the charge because they have to spend time charging. All in all, it's quite a system. One of the amenities, as we learned a year ago, after returning from a short trip, that is one of the amenities of the Krazy Krest bed and breakfast, was one could prepare his own breakfast for $5 and get a breakfast such as we received for our 55th wedding anniversary, or you could order a breakfast for $1 prepared, a hearty breakfast for $1 prepared by the hostess or the madam, and on occasion we do choose to have the hearty breakfast. This is what greets one in the breakfast nook. If you order the breakfast prepared by the hostess or the madam, hearty breakfast that is, and here comes the madam with the breakfast. As anyone can plainly see, the delicious golden brown toast and leftover eggplant, fried eggplant from the day before. Well, what more can you want? Egg in your beer? Well, some people like egg in their beer, but you can't have everything. So much for the hearty breakfast. By the way, folks, one of the things I forgot to mention in the prior duck item was the abundance of Swiss chard. You have Swiss chard well, you can have it on toast, you can have it for breakfast, you can have it for lunch, you can have it as a pate, you can have it as a dip, or you can wear it. Well, getting back to the subject of having egg in the beer, well, first of all, why am I wearing this hat? Just in case it rains and the roof leaks. But now getting back to that subject of people expecting egg in your beer, as that unfamous, and I said unfamous, salmon fisherman remarked as he tossed the anchor overboard without a rope tied to it, the tring or no tring, throw over the anchor. Beer or no beer, eggs or no eggs. We're going to have egg in our beer. Well, we've got root beer here. That's one thing to start with. Maybe we can do a little better than that. We'll have eggs in our beer if we can find an egg. Ah, nothing like it. This is the day for egg in your beer. Well, this brings us almost to the end of the saga of Krazy Krest Inn. We're going to upgrade it to Krazy Krest Manor. I think it deserves it. All kidding aside, folks, this is a great... As I was saying, when interrupted by the battery going a bit dead, Krazy Krest Manor is really a great place to be. Wonderful host and hostess. And if any of you are interested in spending some time here in the summer of '89 or earlier, you better get in your reservation soon. It's a great place to be. Now, before we close this little saga of fiction and non-fiction about Krazy Krest Manor, as I said earlier, we're upgrading it because of the many amenities. I'd like to end it with a final look-see at that wonderful work of art that you have seen earlier in this documentary. It's considered by experts to be, well, a long-lost antique piece of artwork. And we will go from here to take another look-see at it. Thank you.
Legend, supported by scientific investigations, has it that this is a statue carved by Michelangelo from marble shortly after Romulus beat the pants off of his twin brother Remus with his trusty golf club. And if you don't think he beat the pants off of him, take a look-see at this. Not only did they beat the pants off of his twin brother Remus, but he dispatched him for good. And with the dispatch, he decided to found Rome, whereupon the Romans, being very grateful to him, brought him gifts from their garden, as one can see by observing this, that they brought and put at his feet, particularly great abundance of Swiss chard. Well, with this, we will close the saga of Krazy Krest Manor, signed Die. Researching the historical records on Romulus, the writer, narrator, and producer of this documentary came across an obscure footnote. Quote, "Since Romulus found Rome, it is apparent Rome must have been lost." Unquote. History does not tell us where he found Rome.
some antiquarians speculate that Romulus found Rome in the North Country, somewhere around Ogdensburg, New York. They base their speculation in the conjecture that when Romulus was toting Rome back to Italy, a small piece dropped off, which later became Rome, New York. As we learned earlier, the lost tribes of Rome were most grateful to Romulus and declared him a national hero. Our viewers and listeners may be wondering how the cradles came into possession of this priceless sculpture of Romulus. Jim Cradle's good friend and golf critic, Philip Fizz DeJean, presented Jim with this magnificent work of art as a token of his, that is, Fizz's, admiration and respect for Jim having been named Golfer of the Year, a guest of Citadel's number 6 and 7, St. Lawrence Psychiatric Center, Ogdensburg, New York. Let me humbly add that I am proud to have contributed in a very small way to Jim Cradle's being given this prestigious Golfer of the Year award. Early in the year, I followed Jim around the golf course, taking high-speed video pictures of his play. Later, he studied in slow motion his form and technique, observing carefully the few minor deficiencies in his play. By his own account, he stated that the video study improved his game significantly. The next time out, he increased his score by 10 strokes. This is JFO, a guest at Krazy Krest Manor, signing off. This telecast has been brought to you by the Wolfies Broadcasting Company and is intended solely for the enlightenment of our loyal viewers. Any reproduction or rebroadcasting of this documentary without the expressed written permission of the Wolfies Broadcasting System is strictly verboten.
At Crazy View. Howard, Julie O'Brien, Michael, and Sarah.
that a hole in one?
No, then I'll break it.
You sure you can see that needle?
Yeah, you're making me nervous there, standing there.
That's a platinum needle. Oh, Jim.
Are those gold needles you have? I mean,
Oh, these are blue.
great grandmothers used platinum and gold. Two great grandmothers sitting in the room.
Action going on during, I see the red lights on.
Now these are not great grandmothers. That's Paul fit in Canada.
I came up to my annual Ogdensburg golf game, in which I trounced all members of the golfing party.
All of them?
Well,
You trounced them. All kitchens need a cutting board this size for proper cooking. Would you like to go ahead and cut on this then, see if I care. Well, does it bother that much? No. I just thought it's not a very good place to cut.
You grind the glass into it.
I don't like the way that feels, like glass.
Little boy. But they thought he was awful.
Michael O'Brien sleeping at his grandma's, grandpa's.
Are we supposed to use this one too? Not that anymore. I think we got enough of the other. That's all done? Oh, it looks great. Okay, well, let's make a couple of these that are a little bigger. We'll make smaller, okay? And then we'll toss it around. Well, I better cut those, and then you can put them in, okay? Okay.
They were nice young people.
Oh, I had nice girls.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Amy, I don't know either, I guess you.
No, I didn't meet Amy.
Amy was with me for 3 years, and, she's gonna have a baby this month.
Oh.
And,
Was she the one who was married from your house?
no. No, that girl was married. You helping with the baby?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes, he will. Michael. Time. Time for dinner. Now, Kelly, you're gonna start an argument there.
Strange cat.
Michael does pop like them. I know that. I can't believe it.
Thank Karen.
Hobbs does like mushrooms.
Well, that'll give a good place. You can just, when you're giving mushrooms, you can pass them under the table of Hobbs.
Oh, Jim.
Hmm?
What a suggestion.
Well,
or anything, he loves all
Good
that.
one.
Let's
They like
like
avocados too.
That reminds me of Pam.
I know, you won't get any tomatoes, Pam.
Pam doesn't like lima beans.
Oh,
And her mother used to make her take some on her plate. You know what she'd do? She'd put them down in her chair, and she'd say, "Let's take them out, and Tom Thumb would eat them."
no! Michael, what kind of salad?
Tom's on what eating or what?
Wouldn't eat them.
You want this kind?
What is it?
Like Julian Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts With your finger. that you were gonna make her eat, and she sat there, and sat there, and sat there, and sat there,
I had this before.
She loves Brussels sprouts.
and she had that look on her face.
Her
It's
dad
called
loved
Romano, I
Brussels
think,
sprouts.
honey.
Yeah, the vegetable one?
Yeah.
It's in there.
Grandma,
Yeah.
got some more butter.
How about some peanut butter?
You know, I was teaching home ec, many of the girls would turn up their noses and say string beans, you know, string beans. And we made those and they liked them.
Hey,
What
what's
was it?
more brown?
String beans. Oh. You melt butter. Some lemon juice,
Where did you get that garlic bread?
mustard,
In there?
and what else?
Shrimps are really good.
Mm-hmm.
They are good shrimps. Good one.
Good one.
I wonder where they come
Good
from.
one.
Where they get them. Out of St. Lawrence.
Kelly, next to you. Next to you.
Probably out of
That
the
way.
pot.
Look it. Look it.
No.
He was adopted. Could be a girl.
That's enough.
You ask Karen if she would give you a couple of.
You know the pot with noodles.
It is fascinating stuff.
Sarah O'Brien at her grandma and grandpa cradles, watching the movies early in the morning. Michael O'Brien. Probably not Michael, or not Sarah. This is Kelly O'Brien. Kelly and Michael helping Grandma cradle, scrubbing potatoes.
Henry, look at this TV, right?
You're gonna be on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be on TV, that's right.
Have you seen yourself yet, Michael, on TV?
No.
What are you doing, Kelly?
Getting on the potato.
What are you doing, Kelly? Are you scrubbing a potato? Tell Brandon what you're doing. They must be just
Oh, the
showing
show.
No, I got the
Yeah.
It's not obedience.
They didn't have any obedience, because that one on ESPN, that was Western.
You know, if you guys wanted to start your vacation
And they're
a day
feeding
early.
You know. I know, I hate that when they're showing them and they stand there and the dog is chewing on a liver
Think
and
about
it's
that
like,
till
just let the
morning.
dog. I mean, it's
Okay.
that, if I was a judge, I'd
Maybe
eliminate that
morning
dog.
comes-
And it was really fun, that dog show that was up here was
No, I
3
just
days.
asked them if they'd like to.
And I love to watch the
Almost
obedience.
till when?
Tomorrow evening.
That's what, we went to a dog show here in
They'll be
spring.
leaving Wednesday.
And I swear
So,
about 30% of the dogs,
figure it.
and
No,
obviously
I
they
wasn't
pick it
thinking
up.
about that.
And the
but I
border
was really
collies do
thinking,
really
you know,
well,
when the
too.
young people, get in here, you know, they.
You can stay up all night, it doesn't bother me.
Do you stay
Well, you're
late
taking a
night?
hearing aid out, I know that, Brett.
In there, there's no reason why you can't.
I'm not staying up all night, I'm too
Oh,
old.
Johnny Carson's on.
But I don't want to buy.
Who? Well, look who come in. Who came in there, Chucky? That was, Kelly.
I'll just show you.
He keeps it hidden.
Blackstrap molasses and yogurt and shredded wheat and oatmeal.
What?
You find a balloon, Mary says. Did you?
Chucky and Kelly O'Brien.
When the mother's there, she says, I said to my husband, any car but a Volvo. So no, you know what's popular? We are the minivan.
Julia
Every other
O'Brien,
but person has a
Mary
minivan.
Faith.
Can you go at Mr. Osterman? The minivans, it's like, you know, you recognize the people, you know, it's like, oh, there's the red one, that's Casey Bug, you know, the station wagon one, that's Betsy Frederick. You know, and I said to Harry after, because it gets so confusing, you go down the floor, and we think about
Before captain chairs and has a big thing, you know,
Yeah.
big bench seat in the back.
well, our one neighbor's a lawyer, and the firm has a van that, you know, everybody uses, and that has
Michael Howard fishing on St. Lawrence. Chuck and Chucky also. And Kelly.
Scare him away.
Here, look at this.
Good shot. That's the cat. Okay. Don't get your fingers too wet. You see it? Throw it out for you? Okay, Kelly, roll your tip. Yeah, well, it's kind of hurts. Sarah, Kelly, you help pull it. Put yourself back off your head, sir. You're in a great spot. Keep watching it.
From fishing for lunch.
Any action over there, Chuck?
Time out from fishing for lunch.
Dad, she says cheese. Say
See?
cheese, girly. Oh, she didn't take a nap in?
It's like some good corn y'all got. Hey, Kelly.
Are you done with your job? No, come here. And did you get sick all the corn?
Pretty much so, yeah. As a matter of fact, I went to the woods and they had some nice fresh corn. And
Hey, Kelly. Here, Kelly, pull it in. Look for the string so you show Grandpa your fish.
They got the fish.
Pick it up, Paul.
Full bass here.
Okay, I got it. The little family fixing up St. Lawrence River down from the psychiatric center.
I think you need more warm on there, Dick. Yep,
Jack, you know that's nice. Jack, Kelly's gonna end up.
Okay.
Reel it in a little bit, Dick. Take the slack out.
Hey, that's good. Hey, Grandpa, you got this one?
Okay. Oh, nuts.
Yeah? That's the idea. Good job. Nico, that's not a bad sized fish. Right. Settle down, you.
Now,
Well, bro, it looks like
hold
it's
it
about
just a
20
second. I had to,
You got to get a picture. You got the lens cap on.
yeah.
There you go, Sarah.
Wait a minute. I got too much.
He's a good size. I think it's a twin brother. I really do. Yeah. They can be.
Look, baby rabbit, baby rabbit.
Nice job right there pulling him in. You kind of fished him. You fished him in.
Butterfly shell. You take it home because you can make something out of it.
Hold it up a little bit, Kelly. Hold it up so I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Now that you can eat that one, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The St. Lawrence River at Ogdensburg, New York, and Prescott, Ontario.
Oh, do you want to flip it? Who is known as the father of Western philosophy?
Give him the last one on that.
Father of Western philosophy. If any of you back out there in TV land know, please fill out a stuff.
I'm stroking the cord for now.
Western philosophy. Well, there's lots of philosophers in the West. Do you have any idea?
Go ahead. Be my guest.
Rousseau.
Plato.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Just a little bit.
Go ahead.
Hey, who won last game?
We have the gourd, don't we?
Yeah, you guys don't let it go go to your head.
We're gonna have this in here. Okay, re-roll, that's a re-roll. Here, you hold the gourd for a while.
Which do we want to go?
Common, not contagious
disease. What?
That's the new fry.
Yes.
What was the question?
What were George Washington's false teeth made of?
Wood. There you go.
Celery paper now.
Help me to find out whatever it is she's interested in, and I'll get in just a minute, and I can become part of her life.
You don't like what?
The yellow Kleenex.
Well, then why'd you marry him? 55 years ago.
Didn't have the yellow Kleenex then. She was all right. She's still all right. 1988, September the 5th, 55 years later.
Yeah.
What more can
Look at that. No heavier, no.
Nope. Well, a lot smarter. Oh, that's a good idea to shut the. Well, let's be done with this. That's
Dining out on our 55th. Jim's looking forward to another 19 years for us, since that's the time we're going to buy him an airplane.
we never had one there. 55 years. The depression. The other way.
Don't ask him to make a speech. Say something and you'll
Red light is on.
Yeah, when the red light's on.
Some of you talk to us, tell us something. What's
Yeah.
This is Fred, J. Fred Osterling and his bride of 55 years to the day, Alma Fisher Osterling. And 55 years ago they were in Clearfield listening to the sound of the foghorns on the Clearfield River. Must have been.
The foghorn on the Clearfield River.
He's got his hand over it. Well, you're the subject at hand now. Tell us about.
those dreams